You're listening to The Real Short Box, a comic book podcast made for geeks by geeks.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and listening. We are The Real Short Box. My name is Donald.
And we have here our two special co-hosts.
Who the hell are you?
Oh, my name is the Supreme Chancellor of the Jedi and Vulcan Arts, Dr. Kevin. Here we have a man who is known as the Sweet One, the Sensational One. How are you, sir?
Confused a little bit by your chancellorship. Mein Führer? Is that what it is?
Oh, no. We'll have to go that far. But look, you know, it's not that bad now. And then, of course, we have the rambunctious, the riveting Mr. Raphael. How are you, sir?
Dead.
Dead?
But I have to wait forever for you to finish. I'm dead.
It didn't take that long, man. Come on.
That's not what she said.
Oh, wow. That's disturbing.
Wait, is that good?
To get there.
Oh.
That's disturbing.
You know,
First of all,
he's on CPT time, bro.
I don't know what that is.
this is false.
I'm very white. I'm not allowed to know what any of these things are.
False
Nobody
proclamations.
can tell by
being
your
made.
voice.
I said very white. Yeah, baby.
I love.
Aren't you one quarter Jamaican?
Yeah, Jamaican me crazy, Kevin. Let's get moving.
All right.
So what are we talking about today?
We are talking about a recent controversy and maybe a recent excitement for some folks within the comic book as well as the pop culture community. We call it the DC Shake, the DC Shakeup. Many changes were made literally at the very end of 2022.
It's my favorite dance now. The
DC Shake.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
basically
How do you do it?
Okay, so
It's all shoulders?
So you look at the slate of movies coming out,
Right.
And then you just kind of shake a little bit because you're nervous that your movie that you want to come out is going to get canceled.
Or if
That's
it
the DC Shake.
Or if it already's been made, yeah, it's just that you'll never see it.
It's shelved for
It's
life.
been shelved for life. You'll never see it. So,
Right.
so one of them, we could start off the bat. Although this technically happened before Peter Safran and James Gunn, who are now the heads of DC Studios, came along, was the cancellation of the Batgirl movie.
Mm-hmm.
Very controversial. Very a lot of people were upset about that because I know Michael Keaton was in it or is in it, and also the fact that one of the things I heard, the reason why they canceled it was because once Discovery had bought Time Warner and Warner Brothers, it was kind of part of the deal for getting a tax write-off.
Yeah, they could write it off.
They can write off.
Here's
That's
the
why
question.
they can't release the movie.
Here's the quick question with that.
What's that?
Now, if they write it off, right? How long do they have to wait until, like, what if they decide to release it? Like, is there
is it 10 years?
Is it a year, 2 years? What is it? Because they might be cheeky. They might have with their cake and eat it too. You know what I mean? Like they might say,
So,
okay,
typically
we'll
when you
write
write
it
up-
off.
Never.
And then 2 years later.
Supposedly they never could release it, but I find it hard to believe too. There has to be a way.
Yeah. it has to be.
Typically, when you write off something, you don't bring it back. So the likelihood is they're not going to bring it back. If they do bring it back, it's going to be a long time.
It's interesting that Sean, in order to make this explanation, put on that poker visor thing. It's like kind of a bluish pink or whatever.
No, it's green.
In order to, I guess it is in the light. In order to discuss with us the.
Well, I'm not a
math
gambling
behind
man. This is the gambling man's over here.
But do you think James Gunn honestly looked at it and said, here's some movies that I don't want to release because they're not going to be any good, or here's movies I don't want to make because they're not going to be any good, or did he just shake it up to shake it up?
I don't think he had anything to do with it, did he? With
No, the Batgirl
No,
had
Batgirl had
nothing
nothing to do with it.
No, that was canceled way before, but I'm saying
before,
he
yeah.
made a lot more shakeups besides that. What I'm saying is I believe there's two ways of doing this. Either he came in and said, look, I want to do it my way, so I'm going to scratch a bunch of stuff and start new. Or
Or he heard the suggestion or read the script, whatever, and he just didn't like it.
Maybe part of the agreement was you have to take the heat. Like, we'll hire you and you could do whatever you want.
But if it goes wrong-
we wanted it to get canceled anyway.
Right, so in
we
other words,
don't want this old universe.
We'll deflect responsibility onto you.
It's on you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very clever.
Right. So maybe that's how Discovery.
So David
gets away with
Zaslav,
it.
he could be like, okay, I'm hiring you here. You're going to take the heat in case it doesn't work. And then, oh, wow, hey, I didn't know. I'm sorry. Now, Wonder Woman 3, he did have something to do with.
I mean, but it
being
could be the fact too
That's fine.
where he looked at it and said, "Look, because think about it. We know, like a coach, like anything else, you have a very short window sometimes
Right, to get it right.
to get it right. So if you're going to run with movies and characters or actors, and you're going to stick with them, you could be one and done, two and done, or whatever. So if my mind is like, I'd rather go with a whole new ball game, and if it fails, it failed with what I put together versus I just took, Jason Momoa or whoever.
So basically, clean house, try your way and see what happens.
Because if it fails, it fails. But if it goes good, it's like, hey, I brought this to the table.
Right.
But if I continue with, like, say, the Justice League, right, and the next movie tanks,
I take the heat.
I'm gonna get fired or take the heat.
Yep.
And it wasn't even my doing. I just basically went along with whatever was already in place.
So it's probably better. Look, if I'm going to go down, let me go down the ship because
my way. Yeah, I'm going to be the
Well,
one steering it.
I imagine part of it also is
Look at me.
There
Look at
is.
I'm the captain now.
That's pretty much the way he looks.
I imagine
Well,
part
that's
of
true.
his thinking is also there's no point in trying to make a movie around an existing piece of crap, right?
True,
So-
you can't polish a turd. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
So it's
There's
kinda
so
like-
many analogies
so-
like that.
so
Like,
To quote, what's it called? John Barbie, get it the fuck out of here.
Right, but I mean, but think about this. Let's look at it this way. Aquaman. I'm not saying it was a great movie, but it wasn't
it was
bad.
fun. It was fun.
I think he does really well in that character.
But I think they have ideas for all of it going forward, and to try to wrap
Or
what's
just-
existing into those ideas, like to mold instead of making the movie around the ideas, they're making the ideas around the movie.
I honestly think
And I think that is a bigger problem.
I think James Gunn. If I was James Gunn and you said do one movie or one series, do one thing to start it all off, I would do kind of like what they did with the Days of Future Past X-Men. Go young, right? Young super.
First thought. That's my first thought. You mean?
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
first class. You go young Superman, a younger Batman, and start from that bottom, right?
Something we haven't seen in live action, really.
Youth, right?
Yeah.
Like Shazam,
Smallville.
right? But
No,
that's
no,
but it's
we're
but it's
not on
not
the big screen,
But I'm
yeah.
saying, let's just say you took.
And he was already like 40.
But do you guys remember Gotham? Do you guys watch this? Okay, do you watch the first 8 episodes of Gotham? Right. It was Batman wasn't there yet. It was a young Bruce Wayne, but it was really well written, and where they were going to go with it
Oh, it was the first like 4 seasons or something.
was really good. And then, but they never got there after X amount of seasons. And then the last season, they just shoved it in your face,
Rushed
and it
it.
was like, what the fuck?
It's like Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, when they knew they were going to get canceled. It was Deborah Joyce Levine. She's like, we got to get him married. Like I promised him, we got to get him married.
Now-
They rushed the shit out of it.
But like you go with you can go with where you could have
You had
Wa-
90s Terry Hatcher. You got to lock that down.
like
It's true.
Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, right? It's not
Like an Elseworld.
it's not your typical
Sorry.
Joker. It's like more like a crime story, just like the Batman. What's the guy's name that just did Batman?
Robert Pattinson.
Patterson.
No, I
Patterson.
thought you were talking about the director.
No, Patterson. I enjoyed it because it was more of a. It was more like it was more. You could have called that detective. You didn't have. It was more of a detective.
And that's what I was looking for
Batman.
forever. I talked about it for years, doing a detective Batman movie.
So if you did a detective, so you can do a detective again and keep Patterson in it, right? And then introduce some more villains, and you can introduce you can introduce Superman in there or whoever to come help him out. You don't have to do this out of the world super comic book, super cartoony type of characters. And I think Marvel has been able to do both. Something super cartoony, but also something more real. And DC's always been super
Grounded.
cartoony, right?
Well, the problem with the Superman movie is every Superman movie has to be about Superman stopping the end of the world, right?
Some kind of end of the world threat. Yeah.
Because when you're that powerful, what else is
can
there?
match up?
But I'm
with
saying, but you could make a movie where it's a Batman movie, and he is Clark Kent in a majority of the movie, standing back watching Batman to see who he really is. What is he really? Is he a helper? Is he a threat? What is he like? It's like they try to do in with Ben Affleck, right?
In reverse, yeah.
In reverse, but you have Clark Kent just
Observing
him, right? And you know by the name Clark who he really is, but he doesn't jump in to help maybe until the end when it gets really ugly, really bad, right?
So save the best for last, kind of.
But like I thought, like a detective movie would be really good, but like I always give you guys shit. The Suicide Squad with Starro,
Yeah.
the character I thought could have been great if everything around it wasn't so cartoony.
Right.
Right? If you had because Peacemaker walk around in his underwear, and it was supposed to be more of a joke, right? But what if and then the first Suicide Squad was more edgy,
Right.
with the fire guy and all that. So it's two total opposites.
Boring. It was so boring.
It was, but I'm saying it was super opposites.
But it's funny. In when they created that first Suicide Squad, they actually did Captain Boomerang justice because they made him the comic relief. They made him the quirky
One
character. One guy, yeah. And so James Gunn's like, oh, cool. Let me put him in mine and kill him immediately.
And they make and they make everyone else comic relief.
Yeah.
Like I like the Rat Girl. I liked her.
Ratcatcher, yeah.
Ratcatcher. But I'm saying you could have done if you could took those two movies and smash them together. I think you'd have had something. But I think James Gunn, he's done really good. He's done good stuff, right? He's done good movies. So
Arguably, Peacemaker is one of the best comic book television adaptations ever made.
TV show,
Love
that
voice.
movie.
Yeah, in television.
And Tracy said this best. You guys know Tracy, but Tracy said this best when she said that, or someone else said it, I think on your podcast. They felt that the movie sucked, but the TV show brought the character back. You thought this was stupid. Why are we doing a show about Peacemaker?
I think that was Tracy, yeah.
And the TV show, like, I've just started watching that TV show because Hulu's been bugging me about it. And I do enjoy a lot more. I don't really believe as much John Cena, but that's just because he's a wrestler. But I do enjoy it more than I did the Suicide Squad.
I'll say this: Cena will surprise you.
No, I'm watching the whole thing.
Yeah, I know.
I'm almost done.
He will surprise you
It gets better.
with how, like, at first you think
He has some range.
he's got range, but more along the ways of he surprises you with the way he surprises you. Like his acting is about like under him being you underestimating him as an
Well,
actor.
let me tell you one thing. What's his name? Batista. Now that guy, he's really developed into a really good actor, right? And he's done a couple James Gunn movies,
He's
right?
doing an M. Night Shyamalan movie, Knocking the Door, coming out soon.
His last one, the Glass Onion, was
is?
pretty fucking good.
Batista.
Oh, yeah. I was like, not Cena.
But I don't know. I'm looking for I'm a huge Batman guy. I was a huge Christian Bale Batman. Well, I like the Bane character, but I tend to like the dark end of DC, right?
You are a huge fan of weird voices, sir.
I just like dark. I like the dark end. I want to see. Yes, I want to see.
That's like the Sesame Street character we're talking about.
Yeah, I want to see the dark win. Like it'd have been great in the last Batman movie that Robert Pattinson doesn't win. I'm not saying he dies as Batman, but they don't catch the Riddler,
I said the same thing.
and
I
it's
said
just
the same thing.
and it's just chaos.
Also, we never saw the Riddler. In other words, you kept it as a mystery. Like, who is the Riddler?
He was
Let's make him a big joke. How about that?
He was great. He was great up until they revealed his face.
That's what I'm saying. See, they should have kept that Zodiac killer type mystery going. I was saying that, and then the minute you see him, and then he's
a giant pussy.
I'm like, oh man, no.
I'm saying if
don't do this.
if they kept it so he escaped,
it would have been awesome.
and then the next movie with Patterson, he's looking for Riddler, but he runs into the Penguin or the
Yeah.
Two-Face or someone else. It doesn't have to catch him. I mean,
You should have kept that mystery going. Like, who am I? Who is this guy?
if you read Batman, at what point does Batman 100% know the Riddler's real identity?
It's true.
How long before he knows it?
Probably not too long because I
I've
think
said
he was.
this for years in my little.
I think he
Riddler
kept
story.
using
You
puns
keep
like
that mystery.
My
You
identity
make it
is
part of the movie.
an enigma.
Yes,
Yeah.
the enigma. In other words, you can think it's these people in the movie. Oh, maybe he's the Riddler. Maybe she's the Riddler. Maybe he's the Riddler. You just keep messing with your
Here's
head.
what I never understood. In the comic books, why the hell did they create the Clue Master?
I have no idea.
They
It makes
had
no
the
sense.
Riddler.
That
Like,
makes no
why?
sense.
Yeah, was somebody
Well,
just like, I could have done
I'll say
that
this.
better.
I was surprised. I was thinking about this too. Not about the Clue Master.
Yeah,
but about,
you do. You restless nights, staying up late.
Yeah.
Oh, the Clue Master. How?
how
Why is he here?
here?
Where did he come from?
Right.
But the main thing is, the Riddler wasn't really that popular. There's not a lot of
Unfortunately.
Riddler stories.
No.
I know,
Like-
which is sad. It doesn't make sense. There should be a lot more Riddler stories.
I would imagine his popularity peaked in he had two bumps. The Frank Gorman and the Adam Gorson, as the Riddler.
And the problem with that depiction, he was trying to out Joker Cesar Romero because he too was.
Well, they were all
auditioning
trying to
for- So he
overact
kind
each
of
other.
he kind of gave people and later Jim Carrey the wrong interpretation
Jim Carrey was terrible.
because he's trying to be
Yes,
Frank Gorshin.
thank you.
Because he's trying to be Frank Gorshin,
That's the
and
worst.
that's the problem.
That's the worst Batman film.
He didn't study
And I
Riddler
can-
properly.
And I
He
can
didn't
tell,
study
I can tell right
Riddler
now,
properly.
for me, I've always believed that Jim Carrey was terrible in everything he's ever done.
Really?
Oh shit.
Even
But-
Eternal Sunshine?
I hated it all.
Truman Show.
Hated it all.
God.
But as a Riddler,
Dumb and Dumber.
was the fucking worst. It was the worst. And
He wasn't prepared for the role. He didn't really study what the Riddler is.
but I'm saying, he studied what was given to him.
Right, true.
Well-
Schumacher, yes.
First of all, they hired Jim Carrey at the height of Jim Carrey mania
Right.
to play Jim Carrey.
As the Riddler, basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they
then-
got exactly
Then
what they
Mr.
wanted.
Freeze wasn't very good, but we've never gotten a really good Mr. Freeze.
Not yet.
And I thought Two-Face,
good
Two-Face was
Lord.
terrible back
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
I like the Christian Bale Two-Face. I did enjoy him. I did enjoy
You
him.
mean
Uh,
Thank You for Smoking? He was in that movie.
Yes.
That guy.
But I enjoyed his.
Aaron Eckhart?
Aaron Eckhart. Thank
I
you.
enjoyed his interpretation of it. I thought, for me,
Good movie, by the way. Thank You for Smoking.
Danny DeVito was a great Penguin. I don't know. I liked the way he paid.
Who's the best?
Oh, yeah, he was
that's what
awesome.
I say.
He was awesome.
That's
He
the
was
thing.
awesome.
They've nailed the Penguin multiple times now.
Yeah,
Yes.
they have.
In different ways.
Different ways.
Because he
So
was
why
like
couldn't you- why couldn't you do it for the Riddler?
weird orphan like
Yes, that
penguin
was cool.
mutant thing.
well,
was
that is
Hellbent
Tim
on
Burton's
Destruction.
Penguin.
That was
Which
cool.
was great.
It was dark and it was cool.
And then they
Dark.
did the Colin
It was cool.
Farrell
It was cool.
like
Which
gangster
I still
Penguin.
liked it too.
Which
That was
is
cool.
also great, and I'm like, I'm
Why
over
can't
here
you do this for the
sitting
Riddler?
with Kevin. I'm a goddamn Scarecrow fan.
they can't do
and
you
he's a
justice.
big Riddler fan.
They
And
can't do our
we just
characters
turn and
justice.
look at each other, and we're like, motherfucker.
Why couldn't they do our villains
But if you look
Yes.
if you look at the new,
I thought
hold on.
they did Scarecrow okay in the
Cillian Murphy?
okay,
No.
okay.
The first movie, up to a certain point, they did, and then after a while, like, oh, come on.
the whole
shit the
the whole,
bed.
the whole drug to make it look scary.
Yeah.
But this is my thing. If you look at the new Batman book,
Ra's al Ghul.
written by
Yes, it was.
written by Zardowski and drawn by Jimenez. If you look at the drawing of Penguin, then he looks like Danny DeVito. If you look at the drawing in that comic book, it looks like Danny DeVito. But you're right. I did. I thought Penguin was great, and pretty much both of them. But can James Gunn do? So if you're James Gunn,
If I'm
Kevin,
James Gunn, you know
what series do you take on?
I think you and I talked about this once.
The answer is Rebels.
Rebels would be great, obviously, but
The answer's always Rebels.
reboot and do properly Green Lantern. If it's done correctly, you don't
be
understand
the most
how much
amazing
money
thing.
DC and Warner Bros. will put it. The money will be
That
it would be
opens,
ridiculous.
but not just Green Lantern. When you're making
it opens
you put
up a
Adam
lot of
Strange
things.
in
Opens
there.
up everything.
You put
Adam Strange, Lobo. It opens up so
you put
many things.
Captain Comet. You put all these characters.
But you guys
from
do
space
realize
there.
These are
that even though
Yeah.
even though what you're saying
Dark
is probably
Stars.
right, even though what you're saying is probably right, but I can tell you right now,
Tell me.
he's going to pick one of four things, right?
the four.
He's going to do either Batman.
Right?
No, he's not.
I'm just saying he's going to do either Batman, Superman,
He's already writing Superman.
right? Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, or the Justice League. He's going to live in one of those four genres.
I don't think he wants to do one of those. I think he's very comfortable.
He's going to do Justice Society.
Maybe.
That's what I think that's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Because didn't he show a picture of Kingdom Come?
Yeah. You know what?
He's-
Well, in that case, I
he
guess we
wants
get
the
Alan
fringe
Scott then.
shit.
Yeah.
James Gunn's he's not a normal person when it comes to like his selections. Me and him would go to the same comic book shop.
Yep. We know him.
Yeah. That guy had
would run into
specific
him.
tastes.
And you knew all about the Guardians spec, and you didn't act on it.
I know, right? Actually, I did.
He did,
I
actually.
had
He did.
multiple Rocket Raccoons, and
But then that never really went up. That's one of the weird
that
ones.
was a sad one. Same thing with Star Lord too. Star Lord didn't really skyrocket. Gamora, like
None of them-
was okay.
yeah.
It didn't go crazy. Drax was the main one that went nuts, but that's
Right.
probably because of
Piggybacking.
Thanos.
You know what I would really like them to do, and it's I'm pretty sure it's a DC project. Maybe it's not anymore. Maybe it never was. Probably like I always wanted a live action Space Ghost.
It's not DC.
It's like Hanna
It's
Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera.
It kind of is though. It's. I mean, they
It's
do a
not
lot.
owned. It's not owned by them. It's owned by Warner Brothers Animation. So technically,
In
yes,
the family,
but
in the
it's in the
family,
family,
but
but
not
it's not.
exactly.
I think they could marry it though if they wanted to.
I think
they
Space Ghost would be a great.
It'd be
Yeah.
fun. Space Ghost would be fun.
But I don't know. I don't want 2 hours of him interviewing celebrities.
Not that one. Although that was a really good idea for its
With
time.
his band leader Brack.
Yeah.
And I know you were thankful for Wonder Woman 3 being canceled after the disastrous Wonder Woman 2.
Oh my
Wonder Woman
God,
84.
that
84.
was so bad. Shameful.
How do you go from a good first movie to 84? To me, I'll never understand.
So, am I
Me
wrong?
neither.
Are they no longer going to tie in the Joaquin Phoenix Joker with the I Am Batman?
I don't think so.
No, he's on his own.
Because they're saying that because it's more of a detective type of thing, that they were going to eventually wrap those in together because he would fit in that detective style Batman with what's his name?
That's
Well,
it.
I mean, I guess it's possible if they force them to shoehorn them
But
together.
the problem
But they
is they already
shouldn't,
showed Joker at the
because
end of that movie, though. So how?
They have their, but that's probably going to tie to the multiverse.
Oh,
But at the same time, it's probably, I mean, obviously money makes people stupid.
of
but
course.
right?
If they're smarter, they would just keep that specifically separate.
Yep.
Just
It's an Elseworlds
because
story.
it
Just keep
allows
those
them to
Elseworlds
keep
story.
the purity
right.
of it.
What's the next DC film coming? What's the next one?
Shazam, the next Shazam movie, I believe.
Horrible.
Oh, you don't like the trailer for that?
I don't like the.
I'm in. I'm all in.
Look,
Shazam,
I didn't
yeah.
mind. I don't mind Shazam. He didn't need the other Shazam jerks.
Oh,
You're not
I
wrong.
see. The
You're not
family
wrong.
members.
Yeah.
of
All the
Shazam,
family
all
Shazams
Shazams.
did not need to be there. I
And
agree.
now the new one is
They're
solely on
permanent.
them.
They're permanent. And here's my thing. Him doing it for that one time only, I was okay with that. But then, when you see the next trailer, oh man, they're still continuing this.
Oh no! Now
multiple-
it's more
multiple
about them.
Yeah, that's
so,
not good.
And
I
now
don't like
they're supposed to be like on their own because they have power. They're doing it themselves.
Yeah.
And now he's like needs his family. I'd
It's
like to
it's like
see.
the Shazam Avengers or something.
Yeah, I'd like to see just Shazam. And then,
Avengers.
Yeah,
and then
Shazam.
because he's supposed to end up fighting Black Adam.
Black Adam at some point, which of course we're not going to see now. So
They're two different movies. Black Adam's dark in a sense, and Shazam's this nice, after school special. And now you're gonna put them together. It's just not gonna work.
right. Well, I think they canceled Black Adam moving forward anyway. So
Well, they're talking about still doing Black Adam. They're just not gonna be The Rock anymore.
which is wow. Yeah.
He's talking about doing, I mean, they could. I mean, I know they got The Rock because they figured they get The Rock, it's going to sell more tickets, and it did. It sold a lot more. The show sold a lot
Based
more.
and market it.
That movie did surprisingly well overall.
because
if
of
you
The
look
Rock.
at the amount of money
It-
it made
Because of The Rock,
for being
though.
a nothing
I never-
character that no one knew.
That said, I never
Amazing.
understood why he was so obsessed with playing that character.
Well, he thought he was going to.
Ask Jarrett.
Yeah, ask Jarrett.
Ask Jarrett
He-
from
he-
the podcast.
He thought
You have the original
got a
coast.
tattoo
Original coast.
on
yeah.
his arm, tattoo.
the Shazam logo.
Was
Or-
it on his arm or was it on his back?
I think it's on his
Remember which- I
back.
think it's on his
Is
back.
it Shazam logo?
No, he has Black Adam tattooed
actual-
on his
No.
back.
Well, the thing to me is, I think The Rock wanted to do Black Adam, kind of a symbol. It's Black Adam. He was gonna bring DC, because you had Jason Momoa was
Aquaman.
So he's gonna be. I'm gonna be the next guy to make it bigger. They were just gonna keep getting bigger stars to play bigger roles to bring DC into the into the fold against Marvel, because Marvel has had some really big actors. Tony Stark and they
Not really. All their actors they got them. The reason they were able to lock them in for so long, for so many movies, is because all of them are nobodies or
Also,
semi-nobodies.
RDJ wasn't in this position that when he started his
Exactly. He had like a couple of comeback hits, but nothing as big as Iron Man.
Okay.
Iron Man brought him back.
Let me ask you something. If you were to bring one property onto the silver screen, who would it be and why is it Plastic Man?
Because Plastic Man.
It's a great idea, isn't it?
No.
It's a great idea.
He's kind of like the indestructible Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, it would be amazing. I think.
I'd rather they do what's it called?
Not
Elongated Man.
Get the fuck out of here. That name is just like.
I mean,
you're
then you
too
can
proud.
rope in all the dark shit with Gene Loring.
I tell you right now, if I was to do one property, I'll do one property as a movie that's not a superhero type movie. Is I would just do a movie called The League of Shadows Ra's al Ghul and League of Shadows, where he's just causing disrupt and misray
Around the world,
Around the world, there's people fighting him,
Okay.
and you don't get Batman yet. He's just causing havoc pre-Batman.
I got it. What if they called it Checkmate and they're investigating the League of Shadows?
I'm saying that's what I mean.
Okay, I can get behind that.
I mean, it's dark, right? And then you know if you're a fan of DC or Batman, you understand where it's going to get to if it
Get
continues
some
on.
Bane maybe in there at some point.
What about an Etrigan movie?
Oh, wait. It has to be during the medieval era. Like, it can't be up to date. I need to see him in medieval times, like not the restaurant / dinner theater. I need to see him in the medieval times era.
What about
It's just not, where's my chicken?
what about a really well written Jonah Hex?
I would be totally down for a good Western, but I need Cinnamon in there. I need El Diablo. I need all of those guys in there.
But
I
it
need
has to
a
be
rich
written.
tapestry.
It has to be written like 70s Jonah Hex, where everything is about a really corrupt moral person
Yeah.
doing bad things, and Jonah Hex. Basically, it's.
I mean, he wasn't a Union soldier.
No, but at the end of the
You know?
day, he was the outlaw. What was it?
Josie Wales?
Yeah, but no, but the other one, High Plains Drifter.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
he just saunters into town.
Right, the man with no name. Or
Yeah,
whatever, yeah.
You know that kind of.
Resurrection Man.
Perfect.
I love Resurrection Man.
Resurrection Man is a great concept that is
But-
probably incredibly difficult to
Let
execute.
me do you one better. Dial H for Hero.
Also, a great concept with a horribly difficult execution.
Now, Resurrection Man would probably be a better for like TV, to be honest with you.
Yes.
Like,
I don't know. I don't know.
A dark
I think
TV show.
now that I'm thinking about it, I think Resurrection Man would make a better movie, and Dial H would make a better series.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
The Checkmate League of Shadows could be just a TV series on like a Netflix. Doesn't have to be a
What's
movie.
wrong with doing like HBO
If you
doing
want-
like Netflix or
HBO Max doing what?
what Disney Plus has been doing, but being smarter about it. Instead, like
we
what
talked
they did
about
with the Moon Knight, give
Yeah.
them 6 episodes or something. Do that. Don't give them 9 to 12 or whatever.
6.
Yeah, a
Or you
tight,
can-
Miniseries, a
even a
true
tight
miniseries.
3.
Or you can
Type
do
of
you can
series,
you can
yeah.
do an HBO series called Gotham and you get a 6 TV show series of Gotham / Penguin, Gotham / Scarecrow, Gotham /
Whomever.
and you're only seeing it from the view of that person building the character up.
Hugo Strange.
Right. Well, quick thing. Resurrection Man, for those that don't know, it is a guy that was experimented on, and when he woke up, every time he fights somebody, he has a power, but if he gets killed, he comes back with a power that can defend himself from how he died. So if he died of drowning, when he comes back, he's like a liquid being, so he can't drown. That kind of
He's
stuff.
kind of like a sentinel in a way. He kind of adapts.
He's an adaptoid. So that's Resurrection Man. Dial H for Hero is where this kid gets this like alien dial thing, and every time he dials it, he gets a different ability, a different superhero ability. And a lot of times it's hysterical because it's not quite what he needs. But
he wants.
right, it's not what he wants, but sometimes it's what he needs. He just doesn't know it, and he has to figure out the way to make it work, which could be interesting.
The thing I want is a Deadshot, either a miniseries or a short movie
Will Smith.
without Will Smith.
Oh,
Actually, I would recast Idris Elba.
Old.
That's Deadshot.
But he's Bloodsport. You can't do that now.
I know that, but I'm saying
How about Deadshot be like the same Deadshot esque, like dirty looking deadbeat white dad type dude?
that's who he is in the book.
Yeah,
but
that's what
obviously
I'm
they're not going to do that probably.
Well, they could because now they have Idris Elba as Bloodsport, and that's basically Deadshot.
Yes.
So now they could actually.
My point
pivot
being
and
is
do it.
somebody who actually has a little darkness, not somebody who's just going to go and slap somebody.
Sam Rockwell.
No,
No,
No?
I feel like I could do anything.
probably.
Yeah.
But my point being is it follows the Deadshot miniseries.
Robert Downey Jr.
I don't know. I can't buy him going to get revenge for letting his little son get killed by a child molester.
Oof, that's deep, dude. That's dark.
See,
Well,
that's
on
what,
that note,
Rebels.
yeah, Rebels.
Oh, I would love to have a Rebels show.
So we've got some ideas. So what we're saying is DC.
James Gunn, give us a
James
call.
Gunn, just reach out to us. James,
you kind of know us already.
You kinda
in
know
real
us.
life, you really do kind of know
you
us.
kind of know us. We've met
met.
you in passing. We've brushed shoulders. You know who we are. Just seek us out. We'll help. We're not going to ask for money.
We've
knows and he
been
does
talking for
not
6
want
years in the
anything to
Real
do with
Short
you
Box
guys.
with Jarrett, Donald, and myself as the original 3 co-hosts. We talked about on how to make an awesome DC universe.
Yep. And now we're just praying that you pull it out of your hat, that you do it. But with that being said, I'm Donald.
I'm Kevin.
Showtime.
Sensational.
And if we don't see you out and about anytime soon, perhaps we'll see you.
And before that, please subscribe and please give us a like. But we'll.
Oh, you ruined the whole thing. You just ruined it.
Well, I'm sorry. We got to remind
ruined
people.
it. You
We
shit
have to
on my
remind you. We have to remind people.
Oh,
If you have a comment to say about DC movies,
Yes, please comment. Give us your ideas for what DC should do. But we'll see you at the resurrected and always sensational comic book shop.
This has been The Real Short Box. We'll see you at the comic shop. Thanks for listening.